Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Mohawk. I'm Rob Peace.
And I'm Melissa Raftis, and I don't know about you, Rob, but I'm relaxed after Family Day yesterday.
Yeah, that day was definitely necessary.
And maybe you spent time with your family, maybe you didn't. Maybe you spent time playing video games all day.
If you did spend any time playing video games, then you're going to find one of our guests today very interesting. We're going to be joined live in studio by Scott Bunyan. Now, Scott is a professor here at the college. He developed and teaches a course here called Video Games and Online Communities. So I think if you did spend your time yesterday twiddling with a joystick, then you're going to find that pretty interesting.
Definitely. Also coming up on today's show, we will be speaking to Jeremy Arsenault of Breakaway Tours. He'll be speaking about what you can do on your spring break that's coming up. It doesn't really feel like spring right now, so maybe winter break still? It's more of a winter break? I gotta be honest with you, I think this segment might make me a little bit jealous because I'm not going anywhere. No, me neither. I haven't done anything for spring break in a long time, so I'm looking forward to living vicariously through him. Yeah. Also on today's show, we'll be speaking with Sue Prestedge, who is a professor of communications media here at Mohawk College, and she knows a thing or two about the Olympics, which kicked off this weekend.
She's got a pretty interesting career behind her belt. She was the first female anchor ever to broadcast on the Olympics. That happened back in 1984, and the list goes on and on from there with her impressive accomplishments. Yes, she's anchored at other Olympics, including the Calgary Olympics. So we're going to pick her brain about maybe some thoughts about how the Olympics are going so far. Maybe she's a little bit jealous of not being there on the scene this year. She might be jealous of her husband, actually. Her husband works for the Globe and Mail, and he is in Vancouver right now working on the Olympics. Oh, I think it would be great to be in Vancouver at the moment. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but let's take a look at how the games kicked off last Friday.
The 2010 Winter Olympic Games lit up last Friday in Vancouver, British Columbia. Thousands of the greatest athletes from around the globe gathered to compete for the gold in winter sports. The Olympic flame was carried over 45,000 kilometers by almost 12,000 Canadians until it eventually reached the indoor Olympic torch, signaling the start of this year's Games. The outdoor flame was lit just moments later by hockey legend Wayne Gretzky. The last Winter Olympics were held in Torino, Italy in 2006, where Canada won 7 gold medals. This time, Canada has the home field advantage, and we wish our athletes the very best.
Okay, so now joining us live in studio is Sue Prestedge, professor of communications media here at Mohawk College and the first female Olympic anchor ever at the Olympics. So thank you for joining us, Sue.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So what was it like watching the footage of the Olympics this year?
Well, you know, it's great to see it at home. I mean, it's just wonderful. I was in Calgary when they held the Winter Olympics before, so it's a little bittersweet. I'm not there this time, and so I'm having to watch it from afar. But my husband's there, so he's working for Canadian Press, and so I'm getting sort of an inside scoop from him on a daily basis.
What has he said so far about being there?
It's rainy, and he's working in downtown Vancouver, which is not exactly, you know, there's not snow, there's, you know, but the people on the street, the crowded streets, and the attitude of all the people that have come from across Canada and around the world to the Olympics is an electrifying experience, I suppose you could say.
So your first Olympics was the '84 Olympics.
1984, Los Angeles, yeah.
That was the Summer Olympics. Right?
Summer Olympics, yes. It was quite the treat. CBC had set up all its studios in the studios that normally were set aside for soap operas. So they were off for the summer, and we moved in. But when we first got there, some of the soap stars were still there. So it was like, oh my, you know who that is? I've seen her. Yeah, we were starstruck. So it was quite the experience.
So let's take a look at you at those Olympics anchoring here.
It was the next Olympics in Berlin when they started lighting. But I guess the big mystery of the whole thing here, the biggest mystery, is who is going to mount